Hi, we're here at the NOC at Cisco Live with some NOC veterans from the wireless side. So we have Edson and Tim and Salil, and you guys have been here. You guys are like old timers, right? How long have you been here?
Well, times I've been since 2019.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, in 2017.
2017. Old timers. Now you're a youngster here, right?
Oh yeah, I mean I've been working behind the scenes for almost 10 years, but I happened to start joining the NOC last 2 years.
So these guys are some of my heroes here. So I love talking with these guys. So tell me a little bit about so the first thing, let's say in the world of solutions, I look up, I see these access points, or I see antennas that have like little things sticking out and that sort of stuff. What the heck is all that? What's going on with that?
So it sounds like the big question is the rubber duckies that we actually added. So in previous years, we've done Wi-Fi location-based services.
Yeah.
But this year, we wanted to kind of take it to the next level and get a lot more accuracy with BLE. So we're actually doing BLE wayfinding. And as our access points are mounted 30 feet up in the air, we want to be able to increase our beaconing for those beacons, those BLE beacons, and get them all the way down to the floor. So those are actually, that's 2.4, and that's for the BLE.
Okay, all right. So what biggest challenges in getting this up and running? What were the biggest challenges? Edson, go ahead, you first.
Well, definitely one of the biggest challenges, and this is the first time we're doing a showcase at Cisco Live, is the Wi-Fi 7 implementation at the Marriott, right? So we have 116 917060 ones over there. We are advertising 802.11be over there. We have a dedicated SSID. So that's been a really nice experience, but at the same time, a really, a learning curve experience with all the things and the interrupt between different clients and, the different AKMs and, ciphers. So it's been very interesting. So I would encourage for anyone here at Cisco Live to go to the Marriott and, give it a try. Definitely. So that's one of the things.
Oh, that's great. So I'm gonna piggyback off of that, and I want to ask this guy. So Wi-Fi 7. These guys deployed Wi-Fi 7. What do you think about it, right? Is there any value in it? What are you seeing from the Wi-Fi 7 deployment over at the Marriott?
Yeah. So a lot of account teams, sales reps, they came up and say, hey, how do you justify Wi-Fi 7? And I think, you're also alluding towards the same thing. All I ask them is, come on the floor in World of Solutions, try a speed test. You should get about 100 meg, and then just walk across Marriott where we've deployed the new Wi-Fi 7, and you will see about 800 meg download speeds on the same app. So that's all I can justify Wi-Fi 7 for you guys.
Nice. Well, that's pretty good justification. All right. So, biggest challenge of so far in the event. Who wants to take it? Biggest challenge. All right.
There's actually a couple, and I'll let Edson and Salil chime in on interop issues on Wi-Fi 7. But one of the here in San Diego, there's and we've in previous years, back in 2019, we've experienced a lot of DFS issues. As there is a naval station, we know there's weather around us. So when we come here, and obviously in these HD environments, we want to use as many channels as possible to provide as much capacity for our customers. Well, when we the first night we were here and we took over the infrastructure, I think we were getting 30 to 40 DFS events on access points on our upper levels, as well as in the sales pavilion, which is if you've ever been here to this venue, the sales pavilion is more of a cloth type top, right? So it's essentially a tent. So then there's a lot of issues with we're not being filtered out by the building. So we did a little investigation and we had conversations internally. We currently did not have the zero weight DFS zero weight DFS was not turned on, and it wasn't turned on by default from our config. So we went back and we discussed and we actually implemented zero weight DFS. And then what we did, so zero weight DFS it's not going to stop the DFS event detection. It's just going to increase how fast you recover from a DFS event, right? So we have those background channels. Our access points were recovering much quicker. We didn't have to wait out the time on those DFS channels. So we saw a significant decrease. Since we were here since last Tuesday, we had an opportunity to kind of monitor over several days before we even got here.
Okay.
And then significantly decrease a lot of those DFS events. And we were able to keep that bandwidth and that capacity.
That's great insight. That's great insight. So, Edson, what about you?
Yeah, well, multiples, but I will say, we came back here, after a couple of years being in Vegas. So the infrastructure, it's, brand new, so they migrate from wave 1 to 9130s right now. So pretty much we got to do like recalibration and everything, RxO, to make sure that things are up to par from a wireless standpoint. So we spent some time doing calibration, all those kind of things. So that was time consuming, but at the same time it was very interesting about different things that we found in terms of like different heights here. Like we have height here, but if you go to the keynote, it's a different height. So definitely we need to use different parameters, different RF settings to make sure that we are effective enough on the ground to provide coverage. So other very interesting thing about Wi-Fi 7 in the Marriott is that right now, because of the event, kind of requirement from the event is to fire up an SSID. Wi-Fi 7 is hashtag Cisco Live Wi-Fi 7. But we also have the hashtag Cisco Live, which what we have here, right? So where we are seeing is that, especially Apple devices connecting into the hashtag Cisco Live, right? We needed to advertise SAE extension keys. And many people will say, why you need to advertise SAE extension keys if you're not advertising any sort of 6 gigahertz over there, right? So everything turns out to be multi-link operation. Like devices are getting confused when they go from Wi-Fi 7 SSID or vice versa. So they are seeing some sort of trouble when they are getting into the network. So that's the reason we needed to do this kind of a non-orthodox method to add the SAE extension key over there into that SSID. The other thing on the Wi-Fi 7 SSID, specifically Android devices, sporadically when you are connecting, they are getting like no internet access. But that's sporadic, so from a user perspective, it's like, oh, there's a problem in the network, right? But not necessarily. It takes like a couple of seconds, and you move into the connected state. So that's something we are aware. Our team at the NOC is aware of, so we're working on, providing a resolution into that. So a couple of things there.
And real quick, just to add on, is as we bring on these new technologies, we're going to have interoperability issues with clients. And so, and this is what we expected. So we started at a smaller deployment, and we're actually gaining we're learning from this experience as well. The BE's learning from this experience, and we're having all these different experiences with those clients.
Gotcha. So, Salil, you're in Catalyst Center now, right? Do we actually use Catalyst Center for this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, this great question. So we're running Catalyst Center 2379, which supports Wi-Fi 7 and some of the MLO stats. So we've got some interesting data comparing with the Catalyst Center and the controllers. So we started to use here as well.
Curious, this is for anyone that knows the answer. Do you know, like over at the Marriott, so here we're just doing 2.4 and 5. At the Marriott, we're doing 2.4, 5, and 6 gig, right?
At Marriott, we're just doing 5 and 6 for the MLO.
Okay, 5
yes,
and 6.
2.4 is completely shut down with the environment that we work on.
What percentage are on 5? What percentage are on 6?
So that's a really good question. So we're seeing about 20-25% of the total clients getting into 6 gigahertz. So I think it's a really good number. It's showing really good adoptions. Clients really preferring or really supporting the 6 gigahertz band, right? So other of the challenges really quick is that the tuning there to be able, we have 5 and 6, to make sure, from the infrastructure side, to be able to influence the client as much as possible, really to move into 6 gigahertz. We all know that it's a client decision to decide when, how to roam, right? But that was pretty much another challenge that we, it was an interesting thing really to make sure that the tuning from an RF standpoint goes well. So we're still monitoring that, but pretty much 20-25% of the total clients are 6 gigahertz.
Wow, that's impressive. And that means 25% of the clients are also not on 5 gigahertz, right? Which makes it better for the remainder on 5 gigahertz, right? So that's great. All right, I think that's probably all we have for now. Is there any comments, any kind of past anything you'd like to say or anything like that? Any funny stories? Go ahead, yeah. You can say anything you want about these guys.
Well, at least this year, we did not have to do an overnight that we had to do last year, right? So I think we are all happy about it. But for the customers or whoever's watching this channel, we've been running 17.15.3 for our Wi-Fi 7, Catalyst Center 2379, and for the 9130s, 9160s, we're running 17.12.5 with the APSPs and the smooths. So that's all what I had to say.
Great information. All right, well, that's it from the NOC here at Cisco Live. Thanks for joining.